I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning dreaming that there was some explosions. Anybody have that? Oh, okay. I thought I was the only one. The room that I got was right next to the elevator. And so the elevator shaft was actually the wall where the bed was. And so I kept hearing the elevator all night. And I'm a light sleeper. And all of a sudden, this boom at 4 o'clock in the morning. I jumped out of bed. And what comforted me was this. I was able to sit in the toilet, and it warmed me up. And it kind of calmed me down a little bit. I don't think I've ever been sitting down at the toilet as much as I have, this weekend. I think I'm going to go buy one of those units. So maybe we can do a group bulk type of thing and get them a little bit cheaper. Anyhow, it is so awesome to be here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I get to do what I do for. There's a humming sound. Is it me or? Okay. It's just a privilege to get a chance to do what I do. I travel the world. I get the opportunity to represent Sherman College, but more importantly, the profession. And so what sucks about this job is going into the lion's den. And I'll give you a prime example, and I won't mention the association, the ACC. So we have this, you have this organization where all the presidents and all the schools are represented. There's 18 chiropractic colleges in the US, and we go there, and they come up with these crazy things, these crazy concepts. And so they go to vote. Well, there's 3 chiropractic colleges that actually are chiropractic colleges, and the other 15 are pseudo-chiropractic colleges. So I don't want to step on your toes if you graduated from one of those other 15 schools, but unfortunately the truth is the truth. But this is the part that sucks. Every single time we go to a vote, we always lose. And so it kind of kicks you in the rear end. It's like, you stand up, you yell, you scream, you do all the things you need to do, and you get your rear end handed to you because we end up losing. But we're at the table. They know we're there. And little by little, they continue to go, maybe what that school said makes a lot of sense. And little by little, we start to influence. And so maybe that happens to you in your community. Maybe you go to a place where you do a talk and you don't get anything from it, but you're planting the seed. And then you do another talk and you're planting the seed. And then you do another talk and you're planting the seed. And so one of the things that we constantly have to do is be involved. You have to be at a place that's uncomfortable. You got to say what you got to say, and then you just got to trust that the truth is going to do what it needs to do. So I wanted to just kind of show you. This is my beautiful daughter, Michelle. I don't know if you guys, I know most of you probably do, but several years ago, I became very, I knew I was going to be a good leader because my daughter was this beautiful young lady over here, and she graduated from college, and she's got a great job, and she was going through all this, but she had bad luck with guys. And so she was dating these not so nice guys. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to take over. And so what I did was I was at a conference, and I was speaking, and I throw up her picture. And so she's got a picture. I said, this is my daughter, Michelle. She's 28 years old. She's Italian Puerto Rican, so she's got a temper and an attitude at the same time. She can cook, she can clean, and I went through the whole description. And I said to her, if anybody wants to date her, come and see me at the end of the talk. Well, Justin decided to say, I'll take you up on that deal. And so Justin comes to me, and we have this conversation. And then I go, Justin, there's only one small problem. And he goes, what's that, Dr. Cordero? I said, she doesn't know anything about this. So you're going to have to talk to my wife and kind of figure out the details about how to connect with her. Long story short, we met at a DE meeting in Sarasota. They met. A year later, they were married. And 2 months ago, this is my little Anna Jane. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Boy, she looks just exactly like you, doesn't she? And I know that, look at the eyes, same color eyes as mine, same skin. So Anna Jane is our 3rd grandbaby. And by the way, Debbie wanted me to give you guys her regards and her love. She couldn't be here because all 3 grandbabies are home this week. It's the first time ever. So she was like, I'll see you. You go. I'm staying here with the grandbabies. So this is Anna Jane. She was born 2 months ago. And then this is my son, John, on the left, his wife, Bailey, and then my 2 other grandbabies, Esri in the middle, and then Levi Michael, who was born in December. He was 10-5, born at home. Matter of fact, I went there. They live in Texas. Debbie and I went there to help them through the process because they want to have the baby at home. And she went into this intense contraction. We couldn't even fill up the pool. By the time I was filling up the pool, she had the baby. 10-5. I mean, amazing. So you women, I tell you what, there's a reason why God made you that way and us our way, because there would be no babies if it was up to men. So.
And would that be a bad thing?
No, that's right. Can you hit that?
And as I looked at my life, I asked myself a question, and I want to ask you a question. How many of you know if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. Now, that proves a point of what we do, what we accomplish, what we produce in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for us.
I told you I'm the real champion. I told you I'm the champion of the world. All of you bow. All of my critics crawl. All of you suckers who write the Rain magazine.
I want you to think about some major goal that gives your life a sense of meaning right now. Something that will give your life a sense of purpose and direction. Some personal goal that you'd like to achieve. And some career goal, some financial goal that you'd like to achieve. And your social contribution. Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind.
An iPod. A phone.
What's your goal?
Are you getting it?
What's your dream? What is it you want to do with your life?
A man who doesn't exist.
So what are your dreams? What are your goals? What is it that you're doing with this gift called chiropractic? And in reality, a lot of us struggle because we don't know what we really are doing with this gift. And so unless you're put in situations that are challenging, that are difficult, that's when you really then start to think about your life and your life's purpose. And so, like I said before, as I travel the world and I speak to chiropractors, I see that a lot of them internally could be amazing doctors of chiropractic, but they struggle. Maybe they didn't learn the philosophy. Maybe they didn't learn the techniques. Maybe they didn't learn how to communicate with people. And there may be just something that's a tiny adjustment that can be made to allow this person to be who he or she should be in this profession. But yet, they're fearful because they don't have this sense of purpose. They don't have this sense of passion. They don't really know if they're doing what they're supposed to do. So they're struggling in practice, not because they're not great chiropractors, but because internally they have this fear that they're maybe not good enough. Anybody ever feel like that before? And I include myself. I had been a mediocre chiropractor for the first 15 years of practice. I was afraid to charge people because I was in poverty consciousness. I was afraid to tell the truth because maybe they wouldn't like me. I was afraid to do certain things because I figured, well, I don't really want to rock the boat. And for 15 years, I was mediocre in practice. Now, internally, I was a freaking awesome chiropractor. Internally, I didn't know at the moment, but I was an awesome communicator. Internally, I could charge. But all the fears just held me back. Until one day I said, enough is enough. And I don't really remember what the instance was, but it was something that just kind of smacked me. Fred Schofield talks about awakening the reticular activating system. And so the way that you do it is by something traumatic. So he would come around and smack you over the head and basically wake your reticular activating system up. And he might have smacked me once or twice, I'm not sure. But it woke me up. And I said, you know what? I am an excellent chiropractor. I am a person that can change this world. I am. And I started doing all these affirmations, and I got to the point that I said, you know what? I'm going to start showing up. And I think that's one of the problems with us chiropractors. We're afraid to show up. This young lady just graduated from Palmer, right? And so the first thing that you think is, well, I'm a young doctor. I can't go and speak in front of a group. I'm a young doctor. I can't do these things. I don't have the experience. What's the message that I'm going to share? Because I don't have the wisdom that somebody that's been practicing for 20 or 30 years. And so what I did was I eliminated those excuses. And I started going to different conventions and different seminars. And one day somebody said, hey, Ed, would you like to speak? And I had nothing to say, but I said yes. And I got up here and I floundered around and I didn't know what to say and all the words, the fillers that you use. And I did the best job that I could. And then I said, I suck at this. This is horrible. And then they invited me to go to another seminar and speak at that event. And then another one. And so my mom calls me up. I'm from Puerto Rico. So my mom calls me up from Puerto Rico. She says, I see you traveling all over the United States. Are they paying you for this? And I'm like, no. Are they paying for your hotels? No. Are they paying for your meals? No. So what the heck are you doing? Why are you going every single weekend away from your practice, away from your family, away from the people that you love? Why are you doing this? And I said, you know what, Mom? I don't know. And that was a truthful answer. I didn't know. I wanted to be available. Well, guess what? Because of obedience, one day I get a phone call. And the phone call was, I remember this was December 24th, and the phone rings, and I answer the phone. Hello? Hi, this is so-and-so from Sherman College Board of Trustees. We're looking for a new president. Your name came up. We'd love to have you come and participate through the event. And I went, click. I thought it was a prank call. So the person calls back again. No. This is so-and-so, Board of Trustees, Sherman College. We've been looking at you. We've been following you at the conventions and seminars and listening to your heart and listening to your message. And we think that you may be a great candidate for this position. Are you interested? See, you never know when that phone call is going to come. If you're not available, that opportunity is not going to knock on your door. And so first thing is you need to be available. So if somebody asks you to talk, Doc, you say yes, and then figure it out afterwards. And you become available. And what happens is at the right time, at the right moment, that door is going to open. Long story short, I've been now the president of Sherman College. This is my 5th year. And it's crazy how fast, these 5 years have gone. But I'm going to tell you something. And most of you in this room who speak or are leaders in an institution, organization, board of trustees, etc. When you become a leader, you also become what? A target. Huge target. And so in the mornings, I was reading the Bible and I came up with Nehemiah. And I wanted to share something very brief, just in case you guys don't know the story of Nehemiah. Nehemiah was a cupbearer to the king. And so the cupbearer had a great job. He had to drink and taste all the food prior to the king. And so if somebody wanted to kill the king, guess what's going to happen to Nehemiah? And that was his job. So you think your job sucks? Try being Nehemiah. And so Nehemiah goes through this process, but he had favor with the king because the king knew that Nehemiah was putting his life at risk every single time, 3 times a day. And so one day, Nehemiah goes to the king and he says, I need to ask a favor. My country, my land, there was a wall that separated Israel from neighboring town, and the wall was knocked down years ago. And I'd like to rebuild that wall. Is there any way that you can help me with resources, with finances, with people, with material? And the king, because he had favor with the king, Nehemiah, he said, you know what, I'm going to give you the money. I'm going to give you the resources. I'm going to give you a permit that you can walk through the enemy line and basically get to start the job. And so Nehemiah then gets excited and he goes to build this wall. And he gets into Jerusalem and he's there and he's building the wall. And every single time that he was getting progress in building the wall, somebody would come up and say, Nehemiah, I need you to, and create distraction. Because the enemy did not want Nehemiah to finish the wall. They wanted to distract them from building the wall. And according to Nehemiah, he would say, I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. And that was profound for me. Because as a leader, I'm doing great work. And I can't be distracted by all the nitpicking people that want to distract me from getting the job done. And so every single time as a leader that you get knocked down, As a chiropractor in your office, you're getting knocked down. When you get the phone calls, when you get the emails, when you get people knocking on your door, you got to really start focusing and saying, I am a chiropractor. I'm here for a purpose. I know what I want to do in my community. I'm going to educate my community. I'm going to teach them the truth and the principles of chiropractic. And you cannot be distracted from that. I'm doing a great work, and I can't come down because you got a job to do. But we get so easily distracted. We want to check, we want to argue with somebody on Facebook. We want to go ahead and check our emails. We don't think that we're busy enough. So I'm in my first year, and so I focused. I said, I want to make sure that if I'm not seeing patients or practice members, I'm going to listen to some music, motivational. I'm going to listen to some speaker. I'm going to listen to somebody that's going to motivate me in between patients. And so here I am in my office. We're probably there a month. So I'm in between patients, and I got some motivational message that I'm listening to. And my wife, Debbie, is at the front desk. And these two ladies come in. One asks Debbie to use the restroom, and the other one starts talking to my wife at the front desk. At that time, Debbie would keep her purse right by her desk in the front. And so it was a trick to distract her to steal her purse. I'm in the back room, I got the music on, and somehow I hear a rustle. I hear something going on in the front desk. And so when I walk out, Debbie's chasing after these two people. And I'm like, what's going on with my wife? And so I thought, well, maybe the lady forgot something. I'm just giving her, the question of doubt. And so I let her go. And then I realized she's not coming back. So I run after her. My wife is in the parking lot, and excuse me, George, for using it. She's got her hand ripped around the one lady like this, and on the cell phone calling the police. It was a lady that took her purse. Well, of course, my wife's a New Yorker. She's 5 foot tall. She's got this attitude of nobody's going to take advantage of me. And I'm freaking out, and here she's got the girl in a headlock and calling the cops. You can't be distracted. You got to stay focused on what you want to do. You can't come down because you're doing great work. And as a reminder, and so I looked a little bit more, and it says, so I sent messengers to them with this reply. I am carrying on a great project, cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and go down to you? 4 times they sent me the message, and each time I gave them the same response. I have great work to do. I can't step down. I can't come down. So if anything, that's something that I want you to leave this weekend with. Refocus. What's your purpose? What's your passion? What is it that you're going to do with the gifts of chiropractic? Jim and I can tell you that a couple weekends ago, we were in Panama. And when there was a group of 49 of us that went from all over the world. And we adjusted 49,000 people in 1 week. 49 chiropractors. And it was an experience of a lifetime. And everybody that goes on mission trips say that. But the fun part about this trip is it was sponsored by the government. So we were allowed in the jails, and we were allowed in the orphanages, and we were allowed in places that normally nobody can get into. And BJ talked about emptying the jails and filling the churches. We were actually at these places taking care of the people. And nobody said no, and nobody complained, and everybody was just so open-minded. So why can't you take a mission trip like Panama and bring it into your office? Why can't you just love the people and tell them the truth? And if they can't handle the truth, the door is open, and it's always open for you to come back. You share the things that you do, and you share the things you don't do in your office. See, we have a problem in our profession. I'm going to tell you what our problem is. We have been a lazy, fat cat type of attitude profession. So starting from Dee Dee through BJ and all the leaders after, all the leaders, including Sid Williams, including Reggie Gold, including Sigafus, including Santo, all the leaders that have come through this profession, we have been a lazy profession because we want the leader to be responsible for taking this profession forward. And we back the leader up. Well, guess what's happened to these messengers? What's happened to them? They're all dead. All of them. Where's the leaders? Where's the leaders of this profession? Because they're all dead. And so now we're freaking out because now we're looking for a leader. And that's not the answer. There is no one leader. So the messengers have died, but the message is still strong. And it's our responsibility to be able to pick up that message and to go into their communities and share those principles and that truth that we know and that we hold dear to our heart. To get out of our comfort zone, to be fearless, and to go ahead and use the message and use it in a way that's good for you, Bobby. I can't be him, nor he can be I in our message. I had a chiropractor. I practiced in West Palm Beach, Florida. And I had a chiropractor about a mile down the street. And he would come to visit me. And let's say that I had messages on all the chairs. I would go get adjusted in his office, and he'd have the tables all full of messages. He would imitate everything. The only thing he didn't imitate was the message. And therefore, he wasn't seeing the number of people that he could. LCW women at? Ah, that was weak. Where's my LCW women at? So listen, let's do a little something different. This is not only about women, it's about men as well. And I just want to let you know something. Every single person in this room is strong. You're powerful. You matter. Doesn't matter what somebody told you at one time. Somebody might have said you're ugly, or you're too skinny, or you're too fat, or you're too big, or whatever it is. And you believe that. In all your life, you've been mediocre because somebody said something to you that didn't click and you believed it. And then God gives you this gift of chiropractic to go out and change the world with the gift of chiropractic, and you have this barrier that stops you from being who you are supposed to be. And so I'm here to tell you, from somebody that went through similar situations, from somebody that was beat down mentally, from somebody that went through a lot of challenges, I did not think that I was worthy. And if I would have believed that, I wouldn't have been the 5th president of Sherman College. But see, I had people that poured into me. I had people that said, yes, you can do this. I had people that said, you do have certain skills and certain talents. And as long as you're available and you're willing to step up and you're willing to be loyal and follow through, you're going to see. And here I am as a living testament to that. I took over Sherman College. I never ran a school. I didn't know how to run an $18 million budget. I wasn't an administrator. I was a warrior chiropractor in the trenches, just like you. And one of the things that makes me different as a leader is that I'm very transparent. I know how difficult it is to be in practice. I know how challenging it is to deal with the insurance company and with the patient sometimes trying to collect the fees. I know how challenging it is in this profession because you feel like you're the only one in your community doing something. But that's not necessarily true. We are the messengers, and we have to step up. All of us together are going to be the future leaders of this profession. There's some things I'm going to challenge this organization. And I'm going to say it here, and I'm going to say it with love. Number one, we need to build up speakers that can go out and represent New Beginnings at all the different events around the country and around the world. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of them. And New Beginnings should have a team of speakers, 10, 15 speakers that can go out there and share this message and be authentic, transparent, and be able to go out there and share the message. It's not about New Beginnings message. It's about the message of chiropractic. And as chiropractors, we need to go out there and share this message. New Beginnings needs to take individuals in here that are talented maybe in the politics and get them involved in the different organizations so we can have a voice and a representation at the table. New Beginnings needs to take that team of speakers and send them not only to conventions, but send them to the schools and start pouring into the students, and not necessarily the 3 schools that we're talking about. What about the other 15 that have no access to this information? And so if we want to be proactive, we need to take some action steps. We need to be the messengers. We need to be the communicators. We need to be the leaders of this profession. We can't be afraid of going into the lion's den. And we got to go there with our forehead up high, our chest sticking out, and share the truth and share the principles that are going to allow this profession to continue to move forward and create a legacy. I guess I'm the only one that likes this idea. Anybody else? If there's anything that I can do, if there's anything that you guys have any questions, here's my email address. If you want to come and speak to the students, as long as you got nothing to sell, I'm okay with it. You know, if you're going to sell something, go someplace else. You're not coming to Sherman. But if you want to come and share with the students, we need to pour in to our future generation. We need to pour in into our future leaders. And I am so proud of a young lady by the name of Stephanie Dubell that's graduating in December. And it looks like it was just yesterday when she started. And I'm so proud of her accomplishments. I'm proud of her leadership skills. I'm very proud of all the things that I know she learned, not only from mom and dad, but from being here at New Beginnings. So I want to encourage every single one of you. Let's be proactive. Let's be the leader of this profession. Let's do the things that we need to do. Let's be available and make a difference. God bless you guys. Love you. Edwin.